Hello and welcome back. I thought I would do my second part of organising and decluttering my wardrobe. So the video that you will have seen prior to this one was sorting out the clothes in my wardrobe. Now these look so much better and I've already got some ideas in my head of what I want to buy and what I want to introduce to my wardrobe. So just having this clear out wardrobe space where I've removed anything from it that I didn't like, didn't fit me, maybe it was a bit worn. I've removed those out of my wardrobe. I've given some to the charity shop, I've put some in recycling, and I've also going to be giving some to family and friends. And then lastly I'm going to put some of the pieces on Vinted as well. So just from organising, decluttering my wardrobe, the clothes that I have been put to use elsewhere. So I am happy about that as well, finding another home for them, which is great. I really enjoy doing that, knowing that they're not going straight into landfill, that they will have another purpose. So today it's the top of my wardrobe here, and it's a bit of a random space. We've got books, we've got makeup items, we've got nail varnishes, we've got my wax kit. So what I'm going to do is take everything out, actually assess what I have because a lot of it is a bit hidden, and go from there and decide what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. So let's do that first. This basket is full of extra makeup, fragrances, and bits and bobs, so I'll need to have a look through this. This one is more nail varnish, eyebrow tints, nail varnishes, and bits and bobs again. Jewellery box, which I don't actually have that much jewellery in it, so I'm going to have a look through that too. My wax kit that I've had for years and years. And then books, and lots of them. I'm going to go and give this a little bit of a dust now, and then I'll be back. I think I'll just go through the books here, just so then I know what I'm going to put back, what I'm going to then get rid of. So I'll either pass it on to somebody else, I'll take it to the charity shop, or I might sell it on Vinted. Let's see. Some of these books I haven't read yet, so I'm going to decide if I do want to read it or if I don't want to read it and I just need to remove it. So we've got The Diet Myth by Tim Spector. I haven't read this one yet. I'd like to have a read through it and see if it can give me any good advice. So let's go ahead with that. I would like to read this book again. It's just the sweetest dog ever. It's called Maggie the Wonder Dog, if you've ever heard of it, and the owner and the author is Casey Carlin. I think I would like to read this book again. Everything's falling. I've got Life Lessons I've Learned from My Dog, illustrated by Emma Block. I do follow Emma on Instagram and I love her illustrations. I don't think I necessarily need to keep this. I might even put it in Jessie's room actually, because it's just a lovely book full of dog illustrations and then little messages too. So here it says establish your boundaries. So it's a lovely just little book to flick through, and actually I think if I put this in Jessie's room we're more likely to look at the pictures and go through it together. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I love this book. Generally what I do with books, I'll find them maybe in a charity shop, then I'll read it and I'll pass it on to my family to read. So everybody, kind of the females in my family, will all read the book, and then generally I don't ask for it back. So I do read quite a number of books really. Now this one I did ask for it back because I really enjoyed reading it, but now that I have it back I think whilst I'll probably want to read it again, I don't think it'll be for a couple of years, so I'm quite happy to pass this one on. So I did buy this one as well from a charity shop. This is A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. I'm not quite sure what drew me to it. I've just seen on the back it says volume 1 in the trilogy of 5, which scares me a little bit because I didn't realise it was 5 in a series. What I will do is I'll give this a go. I'm not quite sure if this is a type of book that will draw me in. But why not? We'll keep it for now. If you've read this book and you recommend it, please let me know. We've got The Push by Tommy Caldwell. This was one of Aaron's books that I think he bought like an airport. I don't think he necessarily read a lot of it. He's not really a big reader. It's about climbing, so yeah, I'm not quite sure if it's something that is going to draw me in actually, so I think I'll pass this one on. Got To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is the one that I had since GCSE, so I think I am ready to pass this on. I do really enjoy this book. I've kept it in my collection now for so long, so like over 15 years, like probably more than that actually, 20 years. And yeah, I just think I'm ready now to pass it on. If I do want to read it again, I'll just borrow it from a library, or if I have the urge to buy it, I'll just buy it again. But yes, this one is my oldest book and I'm ready to let it go. To go alongside that, I've got Go Set a Watchman, and I've read this once and I have every intention of reading it again, but I'm just not drawn to it. I feel like I was just a little bit disappointed in this book. If I can remember rightly, it kind of has a different viewpoint on their dad, Atticus. And yeah, I don't think I was really happy with the story and how it came out. I think I was a bit disappointed in the character, from what I can remember. So I'm ready to pass this one on too. So I've got Heidi by Joanna Spyri. This is a very old book. I would like to read this one. You can tell it's old when the writing is like minuscule. So yeah, I will keep this one. My sister has passed this one on to me. It's David Copperfield by Charles Dickens. Again, the writing is absolutely minute. I don't think I'm going to read this one. If I am truthfully honest, I would probably really enjoy it, but I'm not really in the mood. It's actually fallen apart in my hands. I don't think I'm in the mood to read something this big of a book. It's not drawing me in, so I will see if she wants this one back and then I will pass it on. I also have The Tales of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Am I going to read this one? I'll keep this one. It is a smaller book, so it's not as long as David Copperfield. So let's keep this one for now. I might read like a bit of a review on it and I will make my mind up from there. I have Atomic Habits by James Clear. I'm definitely going to keep hold of this. I've read it maybe a couple of times and I think it's just a good book to refer back to, about making really good habits and building them little by little. So I will keep this one. J.K. Rowling, and this is A Casual Vacancy. I've read this book a number of times and I really enjoy it. I like the characters and I like the story, so I'm going to read this one again. I might read this pretty soon actually, and then I'll decide if I want to keep it in my collection because it is quite a thick book and takes up a bit of room. So then I have The Little Book of Huga, and I've read this a few times now, usually autumn winter time when I just want to feel nice and cosy. It's quite a comforting book to flick through. I love the cover of this, but I think I'm ready to pass this one on as well. I'm being a bit ruthless today. I've picked this one up recently, Daisy Jones and the Six. I don't know what brought me to choose this book, but I'm going to read it. It says at the back, everyone knows Daisy Jones and the Six. I do not know anything about Daisy Jones and the Six. So yeah, let's read this one, find out about them, and then I might pass this one on. I have this book called Whispering Roots by Valerie Georgeson. My sister's passed this one on to me. I've never ever heard of this book before. It seems like quite an old book. I might find out a little bit more about this and then see if I want to keep it. Got The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. And yeah, this one's a recent one to my collection. I remember watching the film and I'll keep this one. This is another comforting book. This is The Good Bear, and I will keep this one. I'll probably put this one in Jessie's room. It is aimed at children, so it is a younger book. But again, I love reading this one in like the winter time. It's just nice and cozy. It's set in Norway and it's about a bear. It's just a very sweet book, so I'll put this in his cupboard. And then lastly, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So I've attempted to read this or read it all the way through a good number of times now. I think I'll keep hold of it, and then if I do not read it this year, it will be going. So these are the books that I am keeping. I have Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Tales of Two Cities, Heidi, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, The Miraculous Life of Maggie the Wonder Dog, The Diet Myth, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Whispering Roots, Daisy Jones and the Six, The Casual Vacancy and Atomic Habits. So a very mixed array of books there. These are the ones that will be staying, and then the ones that I'll be putting in Jessie's room are The Good Bear and Life Lessons I Learned from My Dog. The ones I will be removing are The Little Book of Hugar, David Copperfield, Go Set a Watchman, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Push and The Midnight Library. So how many books? Right, so 6 I'm going to be giving away. So 6 of the books I'm going to be giving away. 2 I'm going to replace in their house, and then I'm keeping 11 of the books. So I'm quite glad I did this. I didn't know at the start of it how many I would be keeping or not. So let's pop these back. And there we go, they can fit at the back there. I do have the app Goodreads, so what I will do is I will add these to my challenge for 2025. So I've got the same challenge as last year, which is basically to read 12 books in a year, and I did great last year. I think I read maybe 24, maybe 22, 24, and this year I think I've already read maybe 6 books, and it's not really a hard challenge for me to do, but I think it's just a way to make sure that I am still reading where I can, and just to make like a reminder for me to pick up a book. And what I did notice is that obviously I do pick up books. I definitely learned that last year. That is a hobby that I have. There isn't really a particular genre that I like. I just like reading. Sometimes it's like factual books. So last year I read a book about ultra processed food. I've got The Diet Myth here as well, or it could be fiction, it could be romance, it could just be silly books, anything really. I have just found 4 more books. So one of them I got today from the library. This is a free book. It's a quick read and it's Dr. Alex George, The Mind Manual. So I'll have a look through this. It's just quite a small book, and yeah, I'll just see what I can learn from this. The book that I'm going to read next is Pollyanna. This is by Eleanor H. Porter. So a children's book, but something just will be really easy to read. I've recently read this book, and this is Mrs. England by Stacey Halls, and I really did enjoy this book, so I'm going to pass this on to family members. And then I have just finished this book yesterday, Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. I think this book might be a little bit too sophisticated for me. I did enjoy it, especially the last section of it, but I did find it was a bit of a chore to get through the first kind of third half of the book really. So they are all my books sorted. I know which books I'm going to be reading next, which books I'm going to pass on, and they look nice and neat in there. Right, so onto the next basket. So in here I just have nail polishes, so they could just stay as they are. I have had a look at my nail polishes recently. All of them seem to be in good condition, and there won't be any that I need to get rid of there. I have just bought myself a glass nail file. I've had a glass nail file for years, and then I accidentally stood on it when it was in a bag and it broke in half, so I hadn't had one for a while and I was just using like a normal nail file. And actually I'm going to get rid of these. I think they're not very good for my nails. I do want glass nail files are really gentle, whereas these are quite coarse. So I'm going to remove these. I might just keep one just in case if I need a backup for any reason, but otherwise I think I might just keep this one because the other ones haven't been used. I think I've only got one more actually, and I can pass this one on to somebody else. And then in here I just have like cuticle care, nail clippers, and I do have a nail art pen. Never used it. Got two different tools here. Am I going to use them? I think I've had them about a year and I've not done anything with them, so I'm going to pass these on as well. And what I might do is just put everything into one bag. So all my nail things are just in one bag now. I do tint my own eyebrows, so I've got an eyebrow tinting kit here. I've probably got one use of this left, and this is a really good tint. I have recently got from Boots the L'Oreal Paris version, so I am going to use this up and then I'm going to move on to this one. Hopefully it will be just as good, otherwise I will be looking to see if I can order this online again, because this is more of a professional one that you might get at a beautician's. So I have the developer and the tint colour here and a little dish to mix it all in, and then I have my new one from L'Oreal. So I'll keep the dish because I think it has in this kit, yeah, you have like a little applicator. You do have a little dish, just a plastic one though, and then you've got your tint and the developer as well, all in here. So hopefully it'll be just as good, but I will see. And there we go, this box is done. So in here I've just got some sanitary products, a spare mitt, tanning mitt, nail polishes, my tint kit, some cotton wool pads and nail varnish remover. So this can go straight back up. And I will be getting rid of this little pouch here. I'll pop it in the wash to see if it comes up, but it has got some fake tan on it, so I'm not quite sure if that's completely stained now. And I also have this basket here which is full of goodies. So I have my large size perfume. This is Lancome La Vie est Belle, and this is Elixir fragrance, which is my favourite one. I discovered this last year and it's a beautiful raspberry smelling perfume, which is the La Vie est Belle scent but with raspberry in it too, and it smells beautiful. I haven't used this one yet really. I've got a couple of miniatures that I am using at the moment. One of them I've just used up of this, but I have some other miniatures of different fragrances. I think I'm using Flower Bomb at the moment. I'm going to go back in here, there we go, pop that back in. I also have some makeup which is part of my project pan, so I'm using my Milk makeup at the moment, so my bronzer and blush. So I have the Laguna bronzer that I've reached pan on, and the Orgasm blush which is falling apart. So yeah, these are part of project pan, so when I've used up my Milk makeup I will then go back to these two and see how much I can use up of these this year. So travel size fragrances, I think they're so handy, they look so cute, they're great for travelling, and then you can get an understanding of whether you really like the fragrance. So I got a box set from Look Fantastic last year. I got one for me and my partner, so I got the female box and he got the male box. I think it was £55 per box, and then you had that money to use on a full-size version of one of the fragrances. So that is why I have got the Lancome fragrance. So another one that I could have got as full-size would have been Flower Bomb. I really do like this scent, but it doesn't really linger on me that long. So I've got another one of those. And then I also have Valentino and this is Born in Roma Intense. The reason why I've got two of everything is they actually sent me two. I paid for one, but they sent me two of them, so I have been sharing some of the fragrances with family members, and then some of them I've kept a hold of. I also have Black Opium by YSL, C by Giorgio Armani, this beautiful one from Marks and Spencer's. This is the Discover Sunrise. This is a perfect summer fragrance and I'm really looking forward to using that again this year. I think this was around maybe £6. I did get it in, or maybe £10. I did get it in a beauty box with M&S last year, but it's an amazing fragrance. And then I also have Ghost Orb of Night, which I got recently in a beauty box. I'm not quite sure if this is something that I will keep. I do love the bottle though. I think the bottle is really nice. I think what I need to do is just have a good smell of them all, see which ones I'm drawn towards and if I want to keep them all or if I want to pass them on to somebody else. For blushes, I have the Chantecaille Cheek Jelly, and this is in the shade Vibrant. I also have the Rose Ink Azalea. I love this one. This is a perfect autumn shade for me. It's looking a little bit grubby, so I'll show you. I'll pop a little bit on my hand. It's really pigmented. This, and apply it with a brush. I can really work to blend it out, and in the autumn this provides such a lovely colour to my cheeks. I really like this one. I'll probably just use it this year and then it'll be time to let go of it. It has 12 months on the point of open and I've definitely had it longer than that, but I would like to use it this year and get a good amount of use out of it, but I think then it'll have to go. This one is just getting a little bit too old. However, I'm not quite sure if the Chantecaille will be a good replacement because it seems to be. It's kind of similar with it being quite a deeper tone. So maybe I would just use this one. This has definitely got more of a like a red undertone to it. But I think if I was to blend that a little bit more, I think that would be quite nice as an alternative. This Chantecaille one has definitely got more of a pigment when you blend it out. The Rose Ink one kind of goes very sheer. Yeah, I'll have to have a play with that. And then I also have this Hourglass Luminous Flush, and this is the Ambient Blush Powder. So I'm really looking forward to using this one. I do like a blush, a powder blush with a little bit of a gold undertone to it, and that is why I like the NARS one. If I pop this here, this is a more pinkier blush and it just gives a lovely sheen to the skin as well. I do have 4 blushes in this basket that I'm not currently using, so I definitely know that I don't need to buy any more blushes. I do have quite a number of brushes here as well. I really like the Spectrum brushes, so when I decide kind of what makeup I'm doing, I usually do change up my makeup maybe once every couple of months. I then have a look at what tools I might need. So because I've now moved on to a powder highlighter, I am going to include this in my makeup bag so that I can brush it on like this. I have been using a liquid highlighter, and so I've just been dabbing it onto the skin and then using my foundation brush just to blend it in. So now I'm going to use this one instead. And then I just have some eyeshadow brushes, an eyeliner and eyebrow brush, a lip brush which is Real Techniques, another brush. I have 2 of these, so this is from ELF. I think it's a powder brush, I'm not quite sure what the name of it is, but ELF brushes are really good. I like this one for applying powder, so like my Laura Mercier translucent powder, this one is really good for that. And then another brush which would be for applying blush. I do have like a little case here that one of the brushes come in, so I just keep the smaller ones in here like that. I have two concealers that I will be keeping, and these are Bare Minerals. Once I've used my current concealer, which is the YSL concealer, I'll be moving on to these. I do have Fair Opal and Fair Vanilla. I think Fair Opal is the lighter colour and is what I'm using at the moment, but I think Fair Vanilla will be more of my summer colour. I do have another e.l.f. brush actually. This one says it's a mineral powder brush, but I have used this as a foundation brush for when I use like my CC creams. This one's really good for applying like cream type of foundations. It really works to blend nicely into the skin. I do have a mascara as well. This is a Ilia mascara, Limitless Lash mascara. I haven't used this yet. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with mascara. I definitely need more of a waterproof mascara, especially moving into like the spring summer season where there's like allergies. I definitely get affected by that. So I haven't opened this yet. I think this will be one that I will use more towards the end of the year. Hopefully I'll like it, but I don't know. I also have two eyebrow pencils, and these are Zoeva. I actually got these from TK Maxx, and I got the Bare Minerals concealers from TK Maxx as well quite recently. I've noticed that they've started to have like better named brands on there, and I got the shade taupe brown and medium brown. Once I've finished my Benefit brow pencils, I will be moving on to these, and these are very much like the Precisely My Brow, very thin, which is what I want with my eyebrow pencil. So I have tried these out, but not for a long time. I do have some translucent setting powder from Revolution. I've never tried this. Once I've finished my current setting powder, I will move on to this. If you've used this, let me know. Is it good? It's a nice little size, so we'll see. Hopefully it'll be good, but I've not really heard many reviews about this. I think, where did I get this? I think I must have got this in like a beauty box or something. It's not something that I've purchased on its own. I do have two powder puffs, which I sometimes like to use to apply my setting powder. At the moment I'm using a brush, so I've washed these and they're just back in here for now. I have three lip liners. One of them is nearly finished. I love the number 17 Lip Define pencils. They are really cheap. I think they're about £2.50 and I just love them. I think they're just comparable to Charlotte Tilbury, so I wouldn't buy a Charlotte Tilbury lip liner when I know these do just as good as a job and are very inexpensive. So I've got this colour in mauve, I think I have rose brown, and I think this was like rose colour. So I'm going to add these back in. It's good to have like a couple of variations with lip liners. And this one I bought because I wanted more of a brown lip liner, like a brown toned lip liner, and it's called Espresso Nude and it's by Revolution, and it's so pale. I don't know why it's called Espresso Nude when it's pink, and it's quite a light pink as well, so it doesn't really do anything to my lips. So I'm going to get rid of this one now. This was fairly inexpensive too, but I'm just very confused why it's called espresso but it doesn't have any brown in it. And then lastly, lips. I've got quite a few different lip products here. Collections Mega Lip Oil. I recently got this, the Glossy Box Easter Egg. It's a lip oil, so I am looking forward to using this. If it was a lip gloss, I probably would have passed it on. From what I remember, it has like a lovely sweet scent to it, so that's going to stay. I then have the Lisa Eldridge lipstick from the Space & K Advent Calendar. This is in the shade Painterly, and I love using this in the autumn, so I popped it away for now, but it's this lovely deep tone. It's got some brown in there, and I think it's such a lovely colour. I also have a Pixie by Petra lip gloss. I haven't used this yet. I'm not quite sure if I will use it. I do have quite a lot of lip balms, lip glosses, lipsticks in my project pan. So I've got a number of lip products that I'm using at the moment. This is in Honey Sheen. It does look really nice as like a lip topper, so I'll keep it for now. I also have from Glossier, this is Soft Touch Lip Cream, and this is in the shade Jet. This is a red. It is also from an advent calendar, and I don't think I will use this, so I'm going to see if I can pass it on to somebody. I haven't opened it. It's just not going to be, I don't really go for red colours. Then lastly, I have Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm. This is in Vanilla Beige. So I think at the end of this year I'll probably be in the position to open this one up, because I am also using another one at the moment, and that is in Brown Sugar, which I do love. So I do have a backup in a different shade that I am looking forward to using. I just don't want to open too many things. I find that makeup is really difficult to get through, especially lip balms and butter balms and lip oils and lipsticks. They last forever. So do blushes, so do bronzers. So I don't want to have too many things open. So that's why I have my basket here, which is all of my backups. I can kind of rotate things depending on the season, and I know how much things I have, and it's really visible for me to see it. So I definitely know, for example, I don't need any blushes, don't need any lip products, I won't need any concealers for the rest of this year, and I've got a lot of different fragrances to try as well. So I will pop this back. And here we go, we are all finished. So I've just kept my wax kit and popped it back here. I don't need to declutter anything from this. My wax kit is ridiculously old, it still works, so I'm keeping it. It's a pot wax, so I've got my wax strips, my wax, the different products you use, all in there with a towel, so that's something I will just keep as it is. Then I have my basket full of random things such as nail products, etc. And also my spare makeup products. My books are at the back, and I put my jewellery box here. So one thing I haven't looked at today is my jewellery. I really don't have that much jewellery. I think I'm happy to leave that for now. I'm hoping to build up a jewellery collection, and in fact I do have a few things to put in there that I've just noticed on the side. So I do have this lovely bracelet from 2T & Co. Yeah, I got this for Valentine's Day. It's just a simple silvery gold bracelet with links on, and I love it. So I'm going to pop that in there actually, because I do have them out on the side, and it might encourage me more to look after them and to also look at the other jewellery that I have. I do also have the earrings that I'm wearing now, which are just from ASOS. They were like £6. I have these Pandora hoops, which I've had for a good number of years now. I really do like them. They're just not very comfortable because this bit here to get through your ear is really thick. So I have to be a bit brave to pop these in. I also have a lovely amethyst bracelet that a family member got me, which I do wear quite a lot, and I actually really like wearing it with this jumper because of the tones in it. It looks really nice. And a simple pair of like stud earrings. So yeah, I'm going to pop those in now, then I know that that is all organised and tidy. But I'm so glad now my wardrobe is coming together, and then we'll be in much of a better position when it does come to having a new fitted wardrobe in this space. Thank you so much for watching. It was just a quick bit of a tidy up really, but it has taken me a little while, and it's good to kind of reflect on things. I was thinking in the back of my mind, if I was to move today, what would I want to bring with me? What wouldn't I want to move to a new house with? So that's the kind of mentality that I've got, and also like, does it bring me joy, which is like the Marie Kondo method. So there's a few different things I've got going on in the back of my mind when I am looking through organising and decluttering things. Thank you again. I will see you soon.